Africa that they were able to assume that they could have certain rights when they came here. But black people don't have any rights in this country. And people who understand this on the continent of Africa also understand that a country that doesn't love 40, 50 million African people in America who've been brought here, who worked for them, who cleaned their houses, who grew their food, who made their economy, who wiped their butts and took care of their nasty children. If a country doesn't give a damn about these African people here, it damn sure doesn't give a damn about African people who they left. So, this is a new era and we have an opportunity to speak for ourselves. And Sister Bob is going to have an opportunity to talk to us and to you. The Democratic Party wouldn't invite her. They would invite somebody who is a parent of a mercenary who they sent to kill people in Afghanistan and Iraq. They would invite that person to come and speak because they died in a war of occupation, U.S. occupying some other country, and then they get killed, and now they're being paraded in front of the people as some kind of hero. No, the heroes are the people who are resisting U.S. occupation and aggression in Afghanistan, not the ones who are taking that oppression and occupation to Afghanistan. It's a new era. And so we have an opportunity to say and do some things about that and to forward our own agenda. We have an incredible steering committee. You heard them announce. We've got people like Glenn Ford, outstanding, one of the most significant intellectuals in our community, who before most people were even able to pronounce Barack Hussein Obama, was out there calling the alarm about this Negro representative of the Democratic Party, this white power in blackface. We have people like Cam Howard, who has been on the forefront of the struggle for reparations. The Democratic Party is not offering reparations on their platform. Nope. We say reparations have to come. Yes. We have a situation where Barack Hussein Obama is now leaving office, and he's saying that people have to vote for him to continue his legacy. But the question that I asked Obama, does your legacy include my child? Are you telling me that my child is going to have the same chance that your child has? Is that the legacy that you're leaving? If you're not leaving a legacy that's going to allow my children to grow up in the same kind of security with the same kind of resources, I don't want your damn legacy. I had that before you got here. Is your legacy? Is your legacy going to give African women the same opportunities and possibilities that Michelle has? If other African women can't have what Michelle Obama has, keep your damn legacy. We had your legacy before you got here. We're saying that the legacy that we're looking for is a legacy that represents the interests of the broad masses of African people, and especially the African working and poor people who've been catching hell in this country and around the world. That's the legacy that we are here to advance today. Obama wants to have a good send-off. We want to give him a good send-off. And so that's why we're here. That's why we're going to march in the white people's house. That's why Tony Taylor is here. Because the St. Louis Police Department gunned down her son, shot him 21 times. Many of those times while he was down on the ground, shot him when he was down. And so that you find indentations in the concrete from bullets that went through his body. That's why Tony Taylor is a part of this steering committee, and she is here. We have also a part of this steering committee, Zaki Baruti of the Universal African Peoples Organization, who has been a stalwart in the struggle for self-determination there in Missouri. We have here the brother Naim, Khalid Naim, Khalid Rahim, out of Pennsylvania for the New African Independence Party. This is no New African Democratic Party. This is the New African Independence Party because it's a party for self-determination. That's what the struggle is about, self-determination. We demand the right to be a self-governing people in charge of our own affairs. We are at a place where we don't want to hear any explanation offered to us about why we can't do well today. Don't tell us that we got to wait. Don't tell us that our children have to learn to stop sagging before you stop killing them in the streets. Say, our children, if my child doesn't have the right to live and to prosper in a country off an economy that we built, then damn it, your child shouldn't have that right as well. We have Ralph Poynter, who's been in the trenches for a long period of time, somebody who walked with Malcolm X and who is the husband of Glenn Stewart, who has been one of the most significant political lawyers that we have in this country as a part of the steering committee. Betty Davis out of New York as well, who's been stalwart leader in the struggle for economic rights and justice and power for African people in this country. We got a hell of a steering committee. None of which represents white power, none of which represents the white ruling class in this country. We are now organizing, and we have an opportunity to win. So on tomorrow, we'll have much more discussion about the black agenda, about the national black agenda for self-determination, because we want to go beyond just a concept of self-determination. What the hell does self-determination mean in practical terms? What does it mean so that we can fight for it no matter where we're located? We can fight for it on Canfield Drive in Ferguson. We can fight for it in the 5th Ward in Houston, Texas. We can fight for it on Church Street in Norfolk, Virginia. What does self-determination mean? Well, among other things, it means that we, African people, assume responsibility on the top of the agenda to make sure that African women are empowered, have the power to shape and mold the future that we're going to have as a people, that African women will stop being trampled, will stop being the nannies and nurses for the white world, but be able to participate equally and strongly and forcefully in determining what the future is going to look like for black people. We're talking about a platform that demands reparations. We're talking about a platform that says open up these damn prisons and let our people out of the damn prisons, every one of them. We're talking about a platform that says black community control of the police. What greater democracy can you have than that? If there are going to be armed people in our communities, damn it, they ought to be under the democratic authority of the black community itself, not some invading army that comes into our community looking for trouble. This is what we are talking about. So we'll talk more about that on tomorrow. And I'm hoping that everybody will come out to participate in this, where we'll have a greater discussion. I want to thank you for coming out. And nobody showed me, but I'm sure that I've probably spoken longer than I was supposed to speak. But I want to make sure that particularly these mothers and others who have been maimed and victimized by police terror, by what's happening to us in this school system, have an opportunity to speak. That ordinary black people, the mother of this brother who was gunned down in Houston, Texas. How many times was he shot? 14 times? Too many times. and parents and relatives of other people will have an opportunity to come and speak as well. So I want to thank you. And somebody said to us, in a way that was supposed to be a criticism, when we say black is black, they say, well, where black been? Like, I didn't know it went nowhere. Yes, you did know it went somewhere. That's why you weren't even thinking like you're thinking 3 years ago. You weren't thinking about being out here. You weren't thinking about being out here. In fact, many of us fell for the okie doke when they told us that the election of Barack Hussein Obama meant the end of whatever they call racial contradictions in this country. So I just want to say this. We're helping Barack Hussein Obama out of the White House, and in the process of doing that, we're also making the statement, with your help, that black is back. Uhuru.
Hello, everyone. Uhuru! I thank all of y'all for coming out here today. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but I do want to talk about the reason why I'm here and the reason why I do believe in black community control of the police. Chairman and Ghazi already kind of gave you history on what happened to my son, Kerry Ball Jr. Kerry was my firstborn. I had natural birth with all 4 of my kids. I know you might look at me and say, that little bitty woman, but yes, I did. I had 3 boys and 1 girl. When I go in those business doors and fight those animals, they look at me like, you the one that's making all that noise? Well, you touch me. Like they say, you touch one, you touch all. You shouldn't have never laid your hands on my baby because you picked the right one then, because I'm coming for you.
Come on.
I have no problem with coming for you. By any means necessary, I'm coming for you. Uhuru. Now, the reason that I believe in black community control of the police is because I want all of us as an African community to demand immediate evacuation of all domestic forces in our African communities. Right now, we need to come together and demand that they get out. We also need to have the power to hire and fire. We also need to have the power to come together collectively and have our own black juror, our own black grand jury, and put them in jail. By any means, we need to start coming together. It's not about who bigger, who better, who name made it, who name didn't. We got mothers from all around the world out here that came together collectively. I had one mother in Missouri that lost her child in Irvington, New Jersey. Do you know she funded for me to make it her to be able to speak about not just my child, but hers as well? His name is Abdul Khalil. He was killed November 11, 2013 in New Jersey. But like she said, she moved to Missouri and that's where her fight is at. Now I'm all the way here in Washington, D.C. and I'm fighting for everybody. I have no problem with fighting for everybody. If you don't want to stand up for yourself, give it to me. I'll stand up for you. Uhuru, because black power matters. And I need y'all to stop hollering all this Black Lives Matter, because I know y'all matter before they start killing our loved ones. I know y'all know that about yourselves. Our black lives will not matter until we have black power. That's